Hey guys, Jamie here. I'm doing a quick video to show off our new 3D printed 12mm Dual-Tac assembly switches. Basically, our old version was like the Saberforge version. Excuse me, was like the Saberforge version, and there was no support in the back to basically when you press down on your switches. The only thing that it's supported against is with glue. Whoops. So now Travis and I Travis did most of the work. I was just kind of guiding him through it. Travis was able to design this assembly. It's a 3-piece assembly. Basically, you have this, which is your main piece. You're going to put your switches in there, so I'm just going to demonstrate. I already have one built here. I had another switch here. I think I might have dropped it somewhere. Yeah, so I think I dropped it somewhere. But anyway, I have 2 switches here that are not the same size, but it'll still work. So basically, you have your tac switches. These will come with your switch, of course. These switches will not come pre-assembled. Reason being is you really can't. If you're gonna want me to assemble these, I'm gonna have to pre-wire them. I'm still unsure if I'm gonna offer them pre-wired. It just really depends. The reason behind me doing this is because I was gluing basically most of the other switches, the V1 switches, and it was taking a lot of time. So you're gonna want to trim off your leads to one side of your switches. So I'm just going to demonstrate that. So on both switches, you're going to trim off one side. Here's the other one. There we go. So now the sides that are trimmed, well, from this point you're going to want to solder your wires to your switch. So of course you're going to solder, say this is your main switch, you're going to solder your main switch to here. Once you do that, you can go ahead and bend your leads so they're like straight down. I'm dropping everything. Alright, you can bend your leads just like this. See if we can focus. Yeah, so you want to bend your leads downwards like that. And you're going to place your switches with the lead end facing outwards. Go ahead and bend the other leads down. And of course, when you guys see the switch fully assembled right now, it's going to be the switches are not going to be the same length. It's because I dropped the other one, and this is the one that I had next to me. Didn't want to go waste another one. So yeah, you're going to want to place your switches in here, and this is what it's going to look like on the inside, just like that. And the reason why you want to trim those leads is because they're going to be touching together right there. So you want to make sure that those leads are trimmed and they're not touching. So once you do that, of course you have your wires in, they're all soldered already, because if you do this after, you could melt the plastic, the filament, by getting too close, and it'll ruin the switch assembly. So you're going to want to get this piece with the hole on top. It'll line up here. It'll line up just like that. Make sure it's centered. You have your peg piece here. There's going to be one side that's a little bit flat, or that will be too big. That's the side you're going to want, the end you're going to want to hold. And then you're going to place You're going to place the peg inside here, trying to make sure that it's aligned properly. So it's going to be a little bit of a tight fit, but don't worry, just keep pushing through and it'll get through eventually. Just make sure everything is held down. Make sure your switches are straight, nice and straight in there. If they're not, you could move them around a little bit, just help them out a little bit with your fingers, and it'll be all good. If they're not aligned, then you can remove the peg and loosen it up. Try it again. Mine are not aligned for some reason. They got caught in each other. So I'm going to remove it. I'm sorry if it's not focused on this all the way. I'm trying my best. I'm using an old little tripod, so it's not. So yeah, so I put the peg through here. So the peg is too big, it's too long to fit through the hole. You're gonna want to push this peg so it's flush right there, and then you're gonna want to trim off this side right here, just like that, and that's it. There's your peg. So there's no glue involved, and you can see these work, and you have your leads out here for your switch. Those will go in through the inside of your hilt along the switch hole, and there's no glue, so everything is secure. And if you guys ever want to do repairs, all you need to do is get like a thin, like a needle or like a small screwdriver, and push the peg through, and then you have access to your switches again, and they won't be ruined with any glue. The only glue that will be required will be on the edges and around here. So that is the only place that will require glue, is when you're actually dropped it again. The only place you're gonna want glue is when you're installing this in your hilt. And if you see like some white residue, it is from the glue stick. I just didn't clean it off. But yeah, and we have these available in white as well, and bronze, copper, and not bronze, copper, gold, white, and silver. So there you guys go. It's just a quick tutorial video, as quick as I could make it, for those that are purchasing these switches. And thank you guys. I will see you later.